Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. We are playing solo self-found in the Bestiary League as a Spectral Shield Throw, a Juggernaut. And we're standing in the middle of a level 4 Zana entry area. It's going to be Torture Chamber, which is normally a tier 12 map. End boss is going to be Shock and Horror with the nice lightning beams. So it's going to be a fun one. Got a time limit, killing monsters increases the limit, and we gotta find a map. So, guaranteed map drop, guaranteed. So let's see what the mods are gonna be for this run. 4 additional rogue exiles, monsters poisoned on the hit. Okay, that's pretty nice. So in between episodes I have been running some, my dailies. Okay, that was pretty easy, there's no more time limit, because the first thing we got was the drop. So it's nice, tier 3 cage. So, the rest of the map I can just do at my leisure. Oh, shackled hellions. Nice hot dogs. Oh wow, I burnt through all my previous nets. Or did I accidentally stash them then? That's very possible that I accidentally stashed them. By the way, hot dogs acquired.
You have been captured, beast. You will be a survivor, or you will be fooled.
But as I say, now I've been diligently doing my master daily missions. I've got Elrion at 7, I've got Haku at 7, and the other missions are somewhere between 4 and 6, depending on how often I've encountered them in the wild, or if they've been part of the hideout for a longer time. I mean, Verici is at 6, for example. So I've done 1 or 2 Zana missions before this. One of them actually was a repeat of an earlier map, but the mods are something that are actually becoming one of my favorite ones. Sea Witches plus Beyond. It's pretty amazing. I think I got like 2 or 3 demons on it. So I hope I'll run into that one again sometime in the future, because it's just very, very enjoyable. Also, it's a 71 area, so actually probably would have need to use this. So 71, that makes it a tier 4. Oh, and there we have a puppy. Okay, let's just amp things up a little bit. And then we throw the trap and we keep murderizing. And that's all just large items. Cool. No currency to convert into traps or nets. But I've been actually finding a couple of small upgraded items. Might have noticed that I'm walking a little faster than I normally do. The reason for that is that I finally have 30% movement speed boots. Hey, another cage map. So my current boots are these lovely Legion boots. 30% movement speed, decent, very decent fire and cold resist, crafted life and intelligence on it. So the mods here are more perfect drop-ins for what I had before. This movement speed combined with the movement speed of the Peregrine combined with the movement speed of Karawi Ward means I've got 50% movement speed at base, which is actually pretty decent. Screaming Essence of Woe, that's a tier 5, I like it. So I'm zipping around and doing pretty good. It's nice, now you don't need Quicksilver or a like this Quicksilver. I don't need to activate, of the Silver Flask, I don't need to activate it for the 20% movement speed because I already have a plenty. So that's a very nice quality of life upgrade. I've been keeping my eyes open for better gloves and better helmet. Hey, hello there, Jonah. You are one of the 4. Also, he's a unique, and he has dropped a item level 73 Colossal Tower Shield. This is going to be my next shield. That's also very nice. I mean, I've been keeping my eyes open for Colossal Tower shields, but this is actually the first one that has dropped for me for this character. Even though, well, if you look at the map completion, now we've done unlocked 5, and I've done, I think this is my 3rd Zana daily. I mean, I haven't really done all that many yet. But item level 73 is important here. I mean, Colossal Tower Shield is the top tier shield for this build. It has the highest base armor of all the tower shields. So that's why I'm going with that one. But starting from item level 72, the armor percentage modifier prefix can, the tier 3 one can roll. That's 80 to 91%. Like, get out of my way, I'm trying to explain something. You silly goose. There. So the the tier 3 prefix can roll. It's not until level 84 that the next one starts to drop. So this is gonna be basically gonna be the top tier as far as I am concerned, because I don't think I've actually done 84 or maps where level 84 items can drop, because that's tier 15 and then you need to kill a unique. That's pretty high end. Level 73 is where the tier 1 flat armor bonus can roll. So that is going to be 323 to 400, which starts at from white mobs at tier 6, but of course on tier 4 maps uniques can drop it. Ignoring Zana here, because we still have the rest of the map to clear. So that is now an upgrade. So yeah, new boots. Don't think I've actually upgraded the rest of my gear. Oh, of course, I've got masters at level 7, Haku and Elrion. So at level 7 you get access to remove crafted mods. So with those you can actually remove the master crafted mod and then craft something else on top. Which is very, very, very useful if you're crafting resistances onto something, because then you can hot swap those resists for other resists in case you what was I gonna say? In case you blanking here. In case you swap items, that's it. Not quite sure. I'm just doing too many things at the same time. I have a bit of a habit of that. Should be alright now. Oh, hello there, orange. Elemental thorns. I don't do elemental damage, so I don't care about your thorns. On the other hand, no, the warm-up map today was a repeat of was actually the unlock of the dungeon. Relatively uneventful, but I ran it with physical reflect, and again, not an issue. So I'm very pleased with that. The pure fizz build, and it is fizz immune. Oh, and it is reflect immune. Oh, that's nice. Could also look at it in a more negative way. You can say, well, my damage is just not high enough to even kill myself, let alone other things. But that would of course be very cynical, and I'm not gonna do cynical. Nope. Wait. Tooltip here is still around 10k, goes up to 15k. There's some no. The damage taken amount is gonna be higher depending on whether enemies are maimed, whether they're bleeding, whether I'm leeching, if I manage to get my curses off. So the effective DPS can actually fall out a bit higher than what the tooltip says. But keeping tooltip in mind is not a bad idea. As now as a rough baseline. See, 71, that actually means I can't use that one unless I actually kill something with my my hit. I mean, death is no deterrent for anyone. Oh, hello, Magnus. Magnus with your flammability curse, yeah. Okay, that is another of the rogue exiles down. So 2 down, 2 more to go. Should be right. Do enjoy the loot that they drop. It's good loot. Okay, missed a little room in the center there, but most of the time you end up backtracking. Ooh, necromancy net. That's the very, very first one. Can be used on corpses. Cool. So I'm only gonna use those if I manage to accidentally kill a red one. And I think it might actually be useful if I transfer it to my summoner. Since this character has pretty good precise controls over my damage output. Because I'm the only one dealing damage. It's no direct projectiles, the bleeding damage I inflict is very, very linear, it's very predictable. So most of the time I capture what I want. Unless I kill something in 2 hits, and if I kill something in 2 hits, then it was just a regular rare or maybe a weak yellow. But no, it wasn't a red one. Okay, just in case. Okay, shock and horror. Shock and awe. Okay, actually get hit. Okay, good. Blood rage is up. Okay, blood rage is a very nice damage bonus. Also, Antali Napora. Just still charge into you. Yeah. Okay, so far so good. And there is your beam. I break contact, charge in, and then go for the kill. I am shock immune while my sulfur flask is up. So, map like this with all these shocking ground, I don't take any damage as long as I just remember to keep the sulfur flask up. And it has extra duration and all that good stuff, so it's gonna last for quite a while. So that was one little boss. So it's empty pockets. I didn't need that panic portal after all, which is a good thing. My golem, of course, perished. As golems do more often. No, I can actually take the currency out, can just stash that immediately, and for now I'll bring this along. I will do some lower tier maps, so I might as well keep the other nets. And then let's make use of the portals that we have to pick up more loot, because there's plenty of monsters remaining. Okay, that works. Stuff, hey, that's at 20%. Well, whatever. No, don't care about it, and it's too large. Hey, extra squid. More squids? No, more squids. Good. Yeah, but as I was saying, the necromancy nets, my summoner has had much more difficulty keeping enemies alive and timing the nets, because of course your damage output with minions is much less reliable, because you're not doing it yourself. So now minions might decide to get distracted, they might decide to kill something if you just manage to enrage something. Of course, with a build like this, you actually have the fine-grained control that you don't have with a minion build. Well, it's much more difficult. So as a net result, I do end up killing my fair share of red and yellow mobs with my summoner, whereas with this one, I think my capture rate is like over 90%. It's pretty high. And most of the time with this character, I kill things I could have or should have captured if I get distracted and just end up blindly killing things. Because my reflexes are towards staying alive and killing things, not towards capturing things. everybody. Hitting the ground for you, not really useful. You should try to hit me. No, just a free advice. Silly monsters. I do like fights in small rooms like this. Now you aim for the boss, and then all the splinters that shoot away, they just kill the add-ons. Oh, hello everybody. Okay, just sticking to the outside. I do need to fill in the blanks in the center a bit later. But that will come eventually. This isn't a humanoid map, right? No, it's not. Because there's not too many beasties. It's not like a forest or something. So yeah, there's ROAS, but don't think I... Oh, want to mention. Very nice. Upside of doing Zana missions, you get random map drops that are level appropriate but completely bypass your map progression. That's actually how maps used to drop back in the old days, because there was no atlas back then. Well, if you go far enough back into the old days, no, before the old days were old days, and there were not even maps. But I never got far enough into the game in the original closed beta to even know about maps and things like that. Actually, it wasn't until I think, Talisman League that I started doing maps. So that was after 2.0 launched. Let's see, Nightmare Maze. Okay, and we have more items, so let's once again enrich the stash. Okay, getting some extra. Let's actually just take the maps out of this. Sorting through loot is something I'm just gonna do in between episodes, but putting maps in here is gonna be helpful in case I decide to chain multiple maps inside of a single episode. Let's see. So, should be nearly there. 16 monsters remaining. Just hunting for those that have escaped. I think this room was it. 3. Yeah, 3 remaining. No, the other ones, they can be lucky duckies, because they're probably going to be here next to Einhar. So, they can get away. Zana, nearly level 5.
Need a map?
And then, of course, I've got to search through all of these maps. Hey, there's a tier 2 pen that is level appropriate, because for tier 1 I've now completed all of them. For tier 2, the Alleyways, I actually need a copy of the desert. And I already got a copy of the pen. The desert I don't.
Learn anything new?
So do you have a desert for me? No, you don't. Volcano's nice. Lighthouse I think already got a copy.
Good luck with your maps.
So volcano I still lack, and indeed I have lighthouse.
Need a map?
So this has basically been my habit. So I got Barrows, Jungle Valley.
Stay sane, Exile.
Barrows I have, Jungle Valley I lack.
How are your maps?
So let's grab that one. Then we got Underground Sea, and we got another Underground Sea. So this is a tier 6, so it's yellow. So I need to run it as a rare map in order to unlock it. So Zana's is nice, but I will need to augment and regal this to turn it into at least a 3 map a 3 mod a rare,
Good luck with your
which
maps.
always makes it a bit of a mixed thing. But I don't have underground sea just
Need a
yet,
map?
so let's grab it
Stay sane.
and then put it in, and no, just keep it as a for the future. So desert is the one I still need. I wonder if I upgrade 3 beaches, do I get a desert or do I get an arid lake? It's always something that leaves me wondering. Oh, there we are. So just double checking here, just to answer the question for myself. I got 3 beaches
Learn anything new?
and it turns into a desert. I like the beach, but I don't have the desert.
Stay sane.
So now I do. So I got 1 copy of all the tier 2 maps. Only Arid Lake has been unlocked. And I think I had my eyes set on Alleyways. Because it's in the bottom right, and for some reason Shaper has a bit of an affinity for showing up on the right hand side. So starting that side with the unlocks seems to help if you just want to run shape maps. Or Shaper touched maps. It's kind of annoying that it's shaped and Shaper touched. And of course the Shaper as a figure itself, it's all 3 nearly the same words for different different / related things. Gets a little confusing sometimes. But anyways, I still need to unlock, so let's run it. Recovery, less recovery of life and energy shields. Sure, I've got a lot of life regen, so this is gonna hamper me, but because I got so much, that might compensate. And monsters deal a boatload of extra fire damage. I just did a tier 4 map, now going back to a tier 2 with extra damage. Should be no, some level of comparability between it. Let's see, I picked up a flask, might as well put it in the flask bin. And let's get rid of a couple of ID scrolls, because otherwise I will overflow. So 1 alleyway with 4% increased quantity on top of this. Let's do this. Yes, there we go.
God bless you on this fine day, Exile.
And we get greeted by Albion, but that's easy. Because all we have to do is kill the relics. I must say I do like the kill the relics quest, especially if you're mapping, since it is very quick and efficient. The absolute worst one, of course, is the just stay there killing monsters until at some point the game decides it is done. That's usually the point where you see the horror icon. But yeah, having it just stand there, just getting a bunch of weak mobs thrown at you, not very satisfying.
Orb of fusing.
This, however, I like finding fuses. Because no fuse you find is a fuse you don't have to make. And those things are bloody expensive. Okay, 5 additional items, and then nearby corpses explode. Sure. I'll just oh yeah, they changed it, so it's no longer one big Val detonate dead, but it's more like a quick succession of explosions. So it's no insta-kill, it's actually you have a little bit of time because it's just a sequence of hits. Should help a little bit with survivability. So the alleyways is relatively straightforward. It's a couple of long streets with the occasional side street or small alleys. But it's nearly linear. So as long as you can identify where the side streets are in time, then you can move through it relatively efficiently. So now that's the start here. Just want to keep my eyes out for stuff on the side. See, this is a dead end. Could potentially have some monsters. Often it doesn't. But no, don't want to lose any kills. or no potential side areas with interesting monster packs. Also, it's a level 69 area, so I should actually switch down my net. So, hey, we got some. We got a decent number of different chickens. Talon archers I don't have yet. Enslaved hellions I do.
You have been captured, beast. You will be a survivor, or you will be food.
Okay, they also have new parasites. Fun times. Some of them have, others don't. Also, there's things coming from up here. So, you, Maelstrom. Stop throwing stuff at me. Thank you. Bring your fragility. Yep, that's cursor removal. Wait, it works. Okay, that's Talon Archer. Where you got that? Okay, so this is the way forward in all likelihood. And indeed, there's just one. Well, bring your fragility, of course, that dude. It's not even a dude, it's a thing. It's an elemental. Oh, and in yellow I had June Hellion. Yep, let's just throw you a shield in the face. And everything else seems not to be new anymore. Okay. Oh, that's regular. Okay. In this case, I manually aimed at the correct one, but it was a rare standing next to a yellow. So of course the game actually, quote unquote, featured to throw it at the wrong mob. Bad game. Okay, also it's not sure if it's bleeding, if it's enraged. There's all kinds of stuff coming from it. Probably should just have an extra line underneath saying enraged. Okay, I think it's done. Yeah, it's shocking. And there we are.
You are well prepared for the end. This is a
But yeah, no, for the incredibly quick monsters that are just running around, zipping around, having your net just capture the highest value thing in the area, very useful. Like this, if it prevents me from actually capturing a rare, then it's annoying because it's counterintuitive that it works that way. But no, you can actually bring it back. No knowing how the mechanics work, knowing, not realizing, knowing. There's a distinct difference there. In hindsight, I probably should have lured them out, separated them, and then gone for the weakest one first. No, just parking the stronger one, so I could capture the other one in isolation, rather than having them be next to each other and then having this happen. But situations like these, they don't occur too often. So whenever they do occur, it's like, oh yeah, wait, I should have done it differently. No, and then you play a couple more maps, log off for the evening, and then the next time you encounter it, you'll have forgotten it. It's this. If your brain works similarly to how it works for me, then I need to run into it way too many times before it really sinks in. If it only happens a couple times, then in the big picture there's no real harm done. I mean, I managed to capture the legendary yellow. Okay, a regular yellow got away. It's a waste, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, I'm banking on that this is the continuation, so this might be an alley with maybe something, and there's nothing there. Okay. Another Val totem. Quite a variety of monsters in here. It's not a... No, it's no varied map. Okay, something has been ghost touched. But it's the end of an alley, so yeah, you're not gonna get away. Nope, not gonna get away at all. Let's empty more pockets. And let's put that currency in the stash. And then proceed to pick up more stuff. Because it takes a while until you have enough stuff that you think like, yeah, no, please, no more, I surrender.
What was one?
Okay. Twin rares. That's actually not a bad prophecy if you have one with lots of beasties. Because of course then you're gonna get copies of all the rare beasties as well. Okay, so Artisan Strongbox. 3 rares, that's potentially interesting. Okay, so my totem is not out, I'm actually not gonna summon it in this case. Just to see what rares come out, and then no capture them on a case by case basis. I do have 3 nets out, level appropriate, so it should be fine. Okay, whoop. So we got one of those cage things. We got another one of these humanoids. I actually didn't see any beasties, so I can just proceed to murder things without too many issues. Shroudwalker. Okay, you know what? I'll blind you, not just to counter your Shroudwalkerness. I mean, if we're both blinded, then it basically is like none of us is blinded. And I gained a level 74. So our current state of things is pretty decent. Managed to grab Devotion, managed to have the extra endurance charge here, got the extra life note behind this. And actually just looked at my path of build again, because this is roughly where I wanted to end up in maps. I didn't grab Tireless, but what I did do was grab the 2 damage notes here, and I grabbed the Cloven Chain here. So there's extra resist, extra armor, extra evasion, all that stuff. So for the next goal, either I grab Tireless, or I go Indomitable, or I'm gonna go Jewel Hunting. And I think for now I'm actually gonna focus on getting my life above 4000, so I wanna grab Tireless first. Or travel notes to it and then grab Tireless. And 4000 is just one of those nice arbitrary numbers to aim for. Because of course once you hit 4000, then you want to hit the next benchmark, no, 4500 usually. But for us, I've got a rare helmet that has no life. I actually have decent life on my armor. My boots have only crafted life, so that's 50, which I ideally want to have it higher. My gloves, crafted life, but it's a slightly lower tier. And both of my rings also have crafted life, and my amulet has 0 life. So I've got 2 items without life. I've got a belt with a pretty low life roll. So in various places there is still a lot of room for improvement. But improvement, it comes slowly. Hello there, Calderis. So just activate all the traps. Activate all the flasks. And then ignore the mechanics. Kind of cheating, but if it works, it works. And only 2 monsters got away in all of the frenzy. So I think that was a pretty good one. And no interesting drops. Well, plenty of currency. I got a Necronet that's interesting of itself. As I said, I'll actually just keep it in here, because I can actually now just hop into here to grab it out. And as I said, I think my medium monster that once I get it to maps, I'll probably just take it out for a spin for a couple of episodes as well. I think that one is going to benefit more from it than this one, but on the other hand, now this is my main character. This is probably the one that's going to push the furthest. So if I end up running yellow maps, red maps, encountering red minions there that have the potential to have the special spirits, the ones that are tied to going to the spirit realm, then maybe having 1 or 2 necronets in reserve just for reviving those if need be might not be a bad idea as well. But no, that's gonna be for a later time. For now, I've managed to unlock the alleyways, so now we know that it is the arcade that has been possessed, and I haven't done it yet. And if I remember correctly, I do have a copy of arcade sitting here, and it is even an unidentified rare. I like unidentified rares, especially when I'm not playing on hardcore. And there is a Zana or a challenge for completing unidentified rare maps. So I think the arcade one is going to be the first one. Just to have a double combo of having both the shaper thing and unidentified rare. But I like it. You get 30% extra quantity for it, I think. So that all just stacks up in a way that is very, very pleasing. But for now though, I'm going to thank you very much for watching. And I hope to see you again next episode. Bye bye.